I haven't done this in a while, but I got some coffee here and I hope it's gonna keep me sufficiently caffeinated to go through a video after like 2 months of not posting. What is up everyone, this is Alex and welcome to episode 10 of this series where we are going to get financially independent, and this is how I now save 70% of my income. If you go back through the video history, you will see that I started with a savings rate of around 40%-ish. Last month, or in the last video, it was at around 50%-ish, and now we bumped it up all the way to the golden spot of the financial independence journey, let's call it that way, which is 70% of the income. How I increased my savings rate from 40% to 50% to all the way to 70% is going to be the topic of this video. Oh, by the way, and the financial journey update, the full transparency update that I do with you on this channel, is going to be moved at the end of the video, and I got a surprise for you. Alright, on the screen you are going to be able to see my budget, and it's structured based on the three big common expenses that a family has, which is housing, food, and transportation. As you can see, for the month of July, the savings rate was at 71%. The only thing that changed since the last video is my income. Everything else is pretty much the same. I think it would have been cool if there were more people watching to ask them if they saw what changed. Don't you think? The goal for 2021 was to have an average savings rate of 50%, and if we continue to go on this path of keeping the savings rate at 70% for the rest of the months, we are on track to hit that. How I increased my savings rate from 50% to 70% was to increase my income. But there are two lessons, very important lessons, that I learned from this. On the one hand, the easiest way to increase the savings rate and to speed up the path to financial independence is to increase the income. It was obvious to me in theory, but seeing it firsthand definitely had a different impact. I mean, there was only so much that I could save on a month-to-month basis, and there were only so many expenses I could cut before life became annoying. Cutting expenses after a certain point definitely makes the journey kind of boring, annoying, and unpleasant, when the goal should be to make it as enjoyable as possible, because it is going to take a long time to achieve the goal. Like, it's going to take multiple years. So making the process enjoyable is key in order for it to be sustainable. This is a coffee break. I'm not gonna deny there were times when I was penny pinching like a stupid ass and I ended up regretting it. So if possible, learn from my mistakes and avoid them at all costs. On the other hand, or the second lesson that I learned, is that my expenses need to stay relatively the same for this magic trick to work. If my expenses would increase alongside my income, not only would my savings rate not increase, I would also need more money saved in order to support the new lifestyle, the new increased lifestyle. Like for an extra $500 per month, I would need around $125,000 saved up. So you gotta decide if it is worth it or if it's not worth it. It might be possible in the future if you save more or if you compound the money even further, but at a certain point, just to become financially independent, that $500 might not be worth it, at least for me. Just like everything in life, spending more and earning more has a compound effect, both positive and negative. Earning more can drastically speed up the journey to financial independence, but spending more can drastically slow it down. For example, as you can see on the budget, the housing expenses remained relatively the same in dollars amount, but the percentages decreased from around 30% of my income to 16% of my income. That's a massive decrease and I'm really stoked for this, but this was possible only because my income went up and the expenses associated with housing did not go up proportionally. The food expenses remained relatively the same. I still cook like 99% of the time, and I meal prep for the entire week in advance. I just finished meal prepping. Maybe I'm gonna insert some b-roll so you can see how it looks. I recently invested in a water filtration purification system, and I'm really happy. The tap water is horrible in the city, like it's undrinkable. On top of this, bottled water sucks because it's costly and it's annoying to carry from the supermarket. The water purification system was around $400 upfront, and the yearly filters cost around $100. But in about 6 months, I'm going to break even on the investment compared to buying bottled water. And then after that point, I'm going to be in profit, like for a long time, unless the water purification system breaks, but I hope it doesn't. I still use public transportation, and it's enough for me to commute to and from work. It costs me about 100 Romanian leis, or about $25 per month to commute via subway. I don't want a car. I do not want any headaches associated with owning a car. Things pretty much stay the same. Here's another positive reinforcement loop that I got from all this. The habits that I built early on are now starting to show their compounding effect. I'm happy to see that the effort that I put early on into developing those habits is now paying dividends, like big time. I'm also more relaxed now, like I do not stress that much about the savings rate because I know that I can comfortably hit around 60 to 70% savings rate, and I enjoy a treat here and there. I'm enjoying the process, I'm enjoying the journey, and for me this is a very important part, because if I would be like tight all the time about, oh, I spent another 1% on this, or I spent another 0.5% on this, I'd be like, that's not sustainable long term, especially if it's gonna take like 10 years. As promised, let's have a few words on the financial journey update. Our second financial independence goal was to grow our net worth to $10,000. Well, we are past that. Our net worth is now at $13,000. I mean, the goal of all this channel was to reach financial independence together, or at least to document the things that I do to reach financial independence, starting from zero. Even though I did not post since July, I continued to save and I continued to work on this financial independence journey. We are now going to set our second financial independence goal, which is to grow our net worth to $20,000. And I want to achieve that by year end. So by December 31st, 2021, I want us to have a net worth of $20,000. I think that through a combination of saving and investing in the next almost 4 months, or like 3.5 months, we will be able to achieve this goal. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. If you did so, all I ask you is to please consider smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, take care, have a wonderful day, and don't forget that you are amazing.